Hi, my name is Olivier Girardot. I'm a music composer and a sound designer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, but never had the chance so far. I'm going to look for upcoming video games and do my best to re-sound design them to the best of my abilities. It's a common exercise among sound designers to take some trailers of video games and recreate the sound design to improve their portfolio and show their abilities. But I'm mostly going to do it for the fun of it. And instead of focusing on an entire trailer, I want to cherry pick some pieces from different video games and make some kind of show reel in the end. So I'm probably going to spread the whole process over 3 videos, maybe more, so you can follow me during the entire process. Okay, let's dive right into it. So I watched a few trailers of upcoming video games, and there are some beauties, and of all kinds. Sci-fi, adventure, war games, car games, horror, but also very artistic and unclassifiable games. Here's a few of them. Destroy all humans. Death Stranding.
Over here! I'm Sam! Hey!
Need for Speed Heat.
So take no risks. Don't fuck up. Don't talk back.
Marvel's Avengers.
All my best tech in one place.
Those rockets are going to destabilize the bridge.
Yeah, I know. I built the damn things.
Little Nightmares. And many more. But one of those games that really stood out for me was Death Stranding. There is something about the scenery and the atmosphere that really hooked me. It might look like an easy choice to start with because it is so quiet and there's nothing much happening, but this is where sound design gets the trickiest. When it is pretty quiet, the slightest sound needs to be really accurate. Let's dive right into it. The first thing I did was to work on the wind. For this, I used some sounds from my own recording sound bank. What I wanted was to create an organic wind that has depth and variations to make it as realistic as possible. For that, I first added a simple wind loop, not too strong, that serves as a bass. And then added some pieces of stronger gusts of wind here and there. I have placed them sometimes more to the left, sometimes to the right, to create some depth and dynamic. When the character reaches higher altitude, I chose a slightly more aggressive wind that whistles a bit to make it feel like it's colder and stronger. After that, I added the sound of the river that we see on the left. I chose another one of my recordings and placed it to the left, obviously. I then played with the panning and the volume envelope as the character walks away. That was the simple part. Let's move on to footsteps. Footsteps, they might sound easy enough to make, but they are actually tough. You can't just go outside and record feet stomping on different soils and floors. Outdoor recordings are a nightmare because of the constant noise pollution, whether you're in the most isolated nature place or in town. So footsteps are mostly made in studios. But that creates a new problem. Making your footsteps sound natural requires a lot of patience and imagination. Anyway, for this set of footsteps, I used 3 sets of recordings: grass sounds, boot sounds, and equipment sounds. The equipment sounds are basically what the character is wearing and carrying. These sounds are kind of additional. Let's have a look at the grass sounds. It's basically a collection of leaves and forest soil that was pressed and gently crushed. Now, the boots. I didn't use actual recording of boots stomping on the ground because the recording I had were too aggressive. I used a thick canvas bag instead. It doesn't sound like much on its own, but this is what I needed for the final result. Then, the equipment. There is a belt and a mixture of clothes and fabrics, and an old tin can filled with a little bit of water, because this guy could very well be carrying a flask of water or a small fuel tank on its back or something like that. And here's the result. I have created about 30 unique footstep sounds of 3 different intensities that I will be carefully placing in the edit to try to fit the footage as smoothly as possible. Let's hear the 3 different sets of footsteps. There's the softer version, then the soft ones, and finally the heavy ones. Let's go place them now. So here we are. I just included and placed all the footsteps. I have to say the whole footstep creation process was quite a lot of work. Let's hear the results. As you can see, I haven't done the electric and material sound yet. That's for another video. So that's it so far. I think it's not bad. I hope you think so too. Let's have a closer look at what I did. I don't know if you have noticed, but I used the 3 types of footsteps that I had created: heavy, soft, and softer. I started with the soft ones because they felt more appropriate. But later on I used the softer ones because the grass seemed softer. And when the character runs, I used the heavy ones, which made more sense. In addition to these footsteps that I had previously created, I added some sounds and texture in some places. Here, for example, the blue parts, I added some additional grass and leaves sounds to fit to a thicker grass texture. Then I also added some very slight metallic sounds to add to my softer footsteps because there weren't any, and I felt something was missing to illustrate the huge backpack that the character is carrying. When the character runs, I wanted to add a few sounds to emphasize the load he is carrying, and I imagined some liquid moving in a metal container. It could be a water reserve or some fuel of some sort. But it has to stay very light. The secret is not to overdo it. And finally, when the character steps on a rockier surface, I added some small sounds of rocks falling. Here we go, I hope you like it so far. I'm going to continue next week, but probably on the Avengers demo, because I want to try my jetpack sounds for Iron Man's thrusters. But I will definitely get back to Death Stranding to work on the electronic parts and so on. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked the video. If you did, put a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm thinking of making more of these remake the sound design videos, so if you have any suggestions you can put them in the comments section. Whether it's a film sequence, a video game trailer, or even a real footage, please feel free to share and request me to redesign it. Thanks again for watching, see you soon, bye bye.